This is a moment right now. This is a moment. It's a big moment, man. This is it. Right. What's going on? Welcome to the KW podcast. Here joined today by the man, the legend, Mr. Kuro Blessed.
Thank you, good squire. Here I am on the podcast. I'm never speaking like that again.
That's staying in. That's staying in.
Nice. I was going to try to do an old-timely English voice, and then I was like, yeah, no,
Old-timely.
Yeah, I'd not survive the entire podcast like that. But no, glad we're finally here. It's taken a while,
finally.
but we're here.
This podcast was supposed to start, I'm pretty sure, like a few months back.
But I gotta get it prepped, man. Get in time.
Schedules and stuff like that, things just did not work out.
2021, here we are. At least we made it.
Yeah, we made it, man.
We made it.
We've been safe, following the rules, and we're here. Mama, we made it. Let's go. Roll the intro.
We don't have
We don't have an intro. Yo,
yet.
intro coming
yet.
soon. Intro coming soon.
Roll the intro. It doesn't have an intro yet. Nah, I'm fine saying. But it's good to be here. I mean,
Yeah.
got good topics. I'm excited. I was promised some interesting topics today.
I do have a very interesting topic today.
I mean, before we start with the topic,
Mhm.
I do just want to ask one thing. Let's have a light little start. I want
Okay.
something light, because
Okay.
should I explain what the podcast is all about? Really, first, it is our first episode.
You know what?
Sorry.
You can take it away. Let's go.
No, you got this, man. I believe in
Oh,
you.
you want me to do? Okay.
Trust me.
Basically, every Wednesday we're going to be jumping on, and we'll have a few topics. We're gonna start off with like one or two main topics, lasting maybe like half an hour or so, and then as we progress, we'll bring in some more topics. If you guys want topics, you want us to talk about some topics, just slap them in the comments, and we'll jump on them. We'll get some background research here and there, depending on the topics. And we'll discuss it here, and we'll
Make
have
them as wild as
debates.
possible. I want the wildest.
Yeah.
No, I want the wildest. Like, give me something that I can wild out about. I want something that I'm about to go ham on.
And then I feel like, you know what? I feel like me and you will agree on a lot of things, but there's gonna be a few things that we're gonna be heavily against on our opinions. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm gonna wait until you say something that I'm gonna just disagree. Even if I agree, I'm gonna find a reason to disagree with.
No, no. You know why? Because I don't like your hair. Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason I'm going for you.
I know that's a damn lie. You saw my hand and started calling. You and Tino.
I didn't copy it. I did not
first.
copy it.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
always wanted that hairstyle.
I'm the original freestyler out here. Anyway, the thing I was gonna ask though, that once you explain the thingy is, I saw the maddest thing the other day, right? So I'm on, what was I on? I can't remember what I was on. I think I was on Tinder, and swiping through some accounts, and I saw
Okay.
this one comment that threw me off and had me sitting for a good 10 minutes, just thinking and considering, because I was like, yo, this is, I don't know if it's dumbfounding or if it was enlightening, but one girl put a comment that was like, have you ever sat down and deeply considered if you've ever drank milk from the same cow in your lifetime?
But nah, I don't think. Oh,
See what I mean?
yo.
I was like, yeah, obviously, but then I
But
thought
nah,
about it.
I think the chances of it happening just wouldn't work because they'll put it like I'm sure they don't mix up the cow milk, right?
No, they don't.
But
mix it up.
they'll
Even if they
like
take
milk
one
the same cow. But like I think because of the cartonness and how many people just pick them up and how many they have to like reload, I feel like you just but it's possible.
That's what I mean.
It's so possible. What?
I was sitting there.
Yo,
I
who
wasn't ready
thinks
for
of that?
deepness.
Who
I
thinks
wasn't
of
ready
that?
I mean, I don't know, mate. I was not
Damn.
ready for that deepness. I remember seeing her, and I'm like, yo, you know what? For that comment alone, you've been boosted from a solid 8 to a high 10.
Yo,
Not
12,
just me.
man.
Yo, mate, she
But then-
skyrocketed. I was like, yo, you put brains and looks into it, you're done. That was like, yo, I was sat there and I was like, I was ready to deep it like that because I only came here for a quick swipe and check out what's going on. And then I was
Yeah.
sitting here like, yo, wait a minute, I can't even swipe on you yet. You're already a yes, but now I have to think.
I have to
about what
talk
just-
to you, man. I have to see how your brain works, man. Like, I gotta get in there.
Oh, she hit me with another level. I had to like sit back a bit. I was like, yo, I'm thinking my whole life
Yo,
through now. Like,
listen
the amount
though.
of milk I drank.
She's got me thinking though, like, imagine, like, have you got the same eggs from the same chicken?
That's
Like,
what. Yeah, now I'm thinking exactly.
but you can't get the same bacon from the same pig. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
yo, I'd be very surprised if you did. It's
Yeah,
a
I
bit
mean, that
shop's
was a
got
bit
some
hard.
standard controls there.
But then, yeah, you got to think about that, like milk, eggs, things that are reproduced. Goat milk, I don't know. Freaking cheese. Was it made with the same milk from the same cow? Like, sheesh.
It dumbfounded. It hit me because I was also like, I don't know how how big companies order their milk. Do they order them from the same ones that if you go to Tesco's, you might buy that. What kind of brands? I can't think of any brands of milk, but it's like your branded milk, not your like Tesco Finest, but like your branded milk. And it's like if that your local Starbucks also orders from that place and they put it in your tea or your coffee, then can you have drank the same? I was like, nah, I mean, I wasn't ready for that kind of deep thinking.
Damn.
I think it was like late. It was like literally just like a little bit of a late night one, and I was like, "Yo, I was ready to just chill and relax." And now you got me thinking about this kind of thing.
It's gonna be thinking like how the number one, money is like probably one of the top most dirtiest thing in the whole freaking world of how many people is passed. But if you got the same change, like how much you pass money around, could that money have gone around so many places and come back to you? Like,
oh, you mean like if you gave like a 50p when you were 5,
damn,
25k, you have got it back round and you're sitting there. That's the same.
or
50p
note
you had.
or any it could go around the world and come back to you.
It's mad.
Like,
mad
it's
to think
possible.
about.
The chances are
It is.
slim, but it's possible.
Yo, that's a mad. Nah, that's why I was like, I was like, you know what? It's a nice start, a little one, but it hit me deep, and I was like, yo, I wasn't ready for that because I was sat there for quite a bit before I swiped, and I was like, yo, I thought about that.
That's got me wanting to do some research into that. Like, yo, if I drank the same milk, like, I just want to find out.
Yo, is Betty milking like the same cow every week, and I'm just sitting there going down to my local store and ordering milk from the same freaking cow, and it's just like, yo, I'm drinking Betty's milk every single week.
Like, when you drink milk,
Yeah.
like, is there ever any like slight differences that you notice when you drink the milk, like from a
I'm not gonna
different
lie,
bottle?
I don't think there is. Like now,
Like, I
drink
don't.
water, so,
But, like,
I drink.
I feel like I should think about that now and be like, if I ever taste it, like, it's exactly the
taste.
same. Like, the
My
milk
man wants to
taste.
start a milk tasting class.
Yo, but imagine though, and then you're like, oh, yo, this is the same milk. Yo, this is definitely.
That
That's
has an added sweetness, a little.
Mm.
You're stupid. Some added. Oh, I can taste the.
Them extra
That's like-
proteins, man. Them extra. You can tell this is Betty. This is that cow Betty's milk. Mwah.
Shut up, you stupid.
Damn. I. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Before I go too deep in that.
Oh man, that could have got me talking for a while. So I don't know how to word this, but like, I feel like you're gonna agree with this one though. So, freaking dating.
Okay.
You know how when you're dating someone, the normal social like acceptance, like social norm for dating and talking to someone. Let's say you're a guy talking to a girl, or a girl talking to a guy, or girl, guy. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you talk to that person, you talk to just that person, right?
You mean like when you're starting that dating phase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're in the
You're
dating
talking
phase,
to
it is just that person. Yeah.
That one person.
Yeah.
And I've come to realize, that's one of the most detrimental, most, when you think about it logically, stupid, dangerous, time wasting, and freaking biggest killer. One of the biggest killer, fam. Like, it's actually, when you think about it, one of the dumbest things you can do, and the most waste of life you can do.
All
right. See, I had to make a big statement first. Okay. Now I'm gonna explain. So everybody listening, don't start flipping. Like me, I wouldn't even change it. Like even knowing this information, I would still just talk to one person.
Yeah.
But right now I'm gonna explain. Let the people know why I'm saying this.
I'm ready for this because I'm like, where are you going with this? And
I was watching. It came to being. I've watched other shows before,
Yeah.
But the one that really got me, I think it was Love Island USA, and then I was
Okay,
also
yeah.
watching Are You the One? Um,
Never
and
seen any of them.
yeah, in these shows, so Love Island, basically you date someone to like couple up, don't you? You couple up with
Oh,
that
I know the
person.
general premise. I've just never actually seen the shows. I'd like
Yeah.
heard.
So just for anyone who doesn't know, I'll explain the certain premises of these shows. There's Love Island, which you couple up right off the bat, and then you sleep like you sleep with that person who you couple up in bed, like yeah. And then you get to know that person, you get to know other people, and the premise is basically to couple up in Love Island and find love. When new girls or new guys come in, the people already coupled up will talk to other guys and other girls, blah blah blah, to like find the one that's like, oh yes, I like you, and then you like me, blah blah blah. We're a perfect match, and then they basically go on through the show. People get voted out based on, oh, are these guys like a good couple? Are they compatible? And you know, you make it to the end, you win like 100 grand, blah blah blah. And then Are You the One? Is basically there's 20 people. Yeah, there's 20 people that live in a house. These 20 people have to talk to each other, and then each person has a perfect match. And it's like male female, like these are both like pretty straight shows.
Yeah.
And basically there's a perfect match, so you talk to people, and then you do challenges, you choose who you want to go on a date with, and then out of those people who win the challenges, you get the rest of the people get to pick a couple. They're like, oh, these two could be a perfect match. They go into a booth to find out if they're a perfect match. If they're not, you'll just say no match. If they're a perfect match, you say perfect match. And then
Continue. Both
yeah,
these shows sound stupid.
no, you know what? Are You the One is pretty dumb, man. They're just screaming all the time, and it's so annoying. Love Island, yeah, it's pretty sound. And when they find a perfect match, there's like these 10 lights that light up, and basically what they have to do is for everyone has to find that perfect match. If they get all 10 lights to light up, they win. I think it's 100,000. So each person gets 50,000 or something like that. Not 100. How much is it? It's like $500,000.
50K, bro.
Yeah, to just find your perfect match.
Get some action.
And so I was thinking, and I was like, bro, I was watching these shows, and I was like, some people match up, and it's so toxic, it's so bad. Or some of them, they get into couples, and it's like okay, but it's not great. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and you get those people that get into these couples, and then they're like, on the first day, especially in Are You the One, the first day they're like, oh, I'm in love with this person. Oh yeah, my perfect match, you're my perfect match. They get scanned, they're not a perfect match. And then I was like, bro, like in these shows, they're getting together, then they try to like make things work when they're clearly not working. And I see that a lot in society. People are like, oh, you know, you got to try, like nothing just like works out, blah, blah, blah. And then other people walk in or they find out perfect matches and they're like, oh, yo, you know what? This is, I like this. This is sick. This is amazing. And then it got me thinking, I was like, yo, in real life, yeah, people be getting into these relationships super quick, yeah? And then they're like, oh, yeah, this is great. Or they try to make things work, but things aren't working.
Okay, so you started to get me now. Because at the first I was like, okay, they're a bit of a difference because obviously these are like quick dunkers, obviously.
Yeah.
Actually, when you say it like that, though, I get what you mean because
It
it is
takes
like
time.
It takes time. People like
Months.
rush into
Years.
It's not just a quick thing. It's not a quick thing. You can't be like, oh yeah, we're starting to be serious after just talking for a week. Nah.
But then things don't work out. You've just wasted months, years on something that ends up to be nothing. And then all this time you could have been with someone perfect for you. And then this got me thinking. I was like, yo, these guys that come on like Love Island and be breaking all these girls is like, listen, you're just not the one for me. And that's the premise of Love Island, to find love. Like, I'm like fully agreeing with these guys. Like, yo, listen, if you're not the one for me, if it's not working, Y'all can't be like, oh no, oh no, you should have stayed with her. Oh no, look, he's hurt her feelings. It's like, yeah, but it's not. I'm not here for you. I'm here to find love for myself. You
I
know
mean,
what
it's
I mean?
better at the end of the day for them to end it early
Yeah,
than
yeah,
to drag
yeah.
it out, and then it's just like, oh, all men has got all this, and it's like, yeah, but no, he was just doing his thing of like, there's nothing of wasting time. You don't want to be
Yeah.
5 months down the line, 1 year
Nah.
down the line, and then you break her heart. Now she's
This
weeping
is-
and crying.
this
all
is
this.
what got
You
me
wasted my
thinking.
time. Nah, man, just like, if it's not working at the time, just and there's no need to work on it when it's in that phase. There's no point in it. It's just like, nah, you know what? It didn't work out. You can still become friends. Just
Yeah,
take it peace and chill.
In these shows, they speak to multiple girls at the same time, like girls, like so many girls at the same time, and it
Yeah.
works out. And I was like, yo, bro, there's people who've been doing this. There's people who've been on this shiz and end up in sick relationships, get married and shiz, and life is good. And these people are called players. but these players have been doing it right. They've been doing it right. It's so
Oi,
dumb to
oi.
speak to one girl.
You can't label them just all
Nah.
as players. Some of us are just out here trying to find the one, man. It's not a
Exactly,
player.
exactly. But society names them players. But they're doing it right, fam. They're the ones who are gonna find that one person that
one
that works for them. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you know how people be like, they'll be like, oh yeah, I want a guy who's like, or I want a girl who's like, you know, she's tidy. She's not just gonna throw her shiz all over the place. You know, someone I can talk to all day and just like mess around with. Someone like, you know, who's like adventurous like me. We can go and do this and that and that. And then they'll find someone who has like one aspect. And then
Of, like,
people
25.
stick with that, yeah. And girls will do this a lot. I've noticed. I'm not labeling all girls as doing this, blah blah blah. I'm not. don't come for me. But they will settle for a guy who's not perfect for them. You know, who's got one aspect, and they'll be like, oh, we can work on it. We can they can change him.
You know what?
But
There's a
most
comment
of
I
the
want to make
time-
here where it's like, I feel like a lot of the time, so both sides, I ain't just saying this is one or the other.
Yeah,
From
yeah, yeah, for both sides,
the
both sides.
idea of looking at appearance. Sometimes people focus so much on the appearance that is the one good trait, and then forget about all the other personality
Yeah.
traits that matter. Because sometimes it's like someone
I've
can be
seen
good
people who do
looking,
that.
but
I've
the
seen people.
personality can be dead.
Dead.
And if the personality is
Dead.
dead, you're not gonna have anything in common. Things are not gonna work out. Yeah, in the short run, it's okay. You're talking to just her, it's all going good, but really, or you're talking to him and it's all going good, but really there's no conversation going on. There's just this kind of like, there's that honeymoon phase? you know,
Yeah,
where you're
yeah.
still
Honeymoon
getting to know
phase
each
is a
other.
big killer.
And then the problem is you start getting settled and you're getting down, and he's just talking to you, you're just talking to him. And then that's when the problems start. This starts happening, that starts happening.
And then you start getting
Then-
these little red flags, but then people are like, oh, we'll work on it. No,
on
no.
it. Nah.
Back out, man. Just go find someone else.
If that like phrase comes out, we'll work on it. You know that
It's
going
over.
down.
It's already done. When it says,
going
oh,
down.
work on it, it's already done.
Work on it. I love that work.
When
on
you
it.
have to work on something, that's like, something's not right. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, you're in the right place.
Well,
like,
shout
yeah,
out to
I
all
get
my
it.
players out there, can I just say? I'm gonna give a little shout out to all my players.
Shout out to the
You guys
players.
are the real MVPs, all right? You guys are doing bits out there. You know what? You keep doing what you're doing.
But they're the ones that find love. You see, the guy that's labeled the player or the girl that's labeled this and that usually find that person that like they proper gel with, the person that they're like, this is the person that's like perfect for
You
me.
don't have one pack of Pokemon cards to find a rare. You gotta
Nah,
open
yeah,
it.
exactly. You gotta open a few at the same time. It's a quick process. You gotta like.
You open the pack a few through. That one's not working. Open another one. Follow. All these top YouTubers. You try to find those rare ones, man. It's hard to find a rare Pokemon.
It is. But imagine though, was almost 8 billion people in the world, fam. There are people out there perfect for you, and you're deciding to settle because he's got this and that. He's attractive. He's got this one aspect of him that I like, or she's so freaking amazing. I've never done as good as this girl. I can't let her go. But my guy, you look at couples all over the internet, and you're like, how in the heck is he with her, or how in the heck is she with him? It's not all about appearance. People like personality. Me, there's been girls that I've looked at and been like, damn, she's amazing. She's over a 10. Like I start talking to her, right? She drops down to like a 2. Like I don't even see that like attractiveness like from like the looks.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
goes away. Like it's crazy how you look at someone. You're like, oh, she looks amazing. You start speaking to them, and you're just like, nope, no, not my cup of tea. She's not even attractive.
Yeah, it's like when you try to give it an overall rating, it ends up going down because when you rate her on looks, it's like, yeah, she may be a 10 on looks, but then her personality's got none, so we have to take some points away.
Even the looks go down, bruv. When you speak to someone, sometimes it's just like, and then you speak to a girl that you think is like, I don't know, like a 5. Let's go 5. Let's be like extreme. And then you speak to her, right? Her looks, her personality brings her looks up. Like, is that just me, or is like it's crazy? Like a girl can be like not as best looking as some other girls, but when you start speaking to her, she goes over them girls, looks wise.
I get what you
Always.
mean. It's one of those things. Personality does add a lot.
It adds a
to your
lot for
overall
me.
attractiveness.
Personality. Whoa.
Because the thing is, when you see someone, you're looking at them, and it's like, okay, and you're starting to talk to them, and you're getting to know them, and it's all vibing, and you're seeing how they look, and you're like, you know what? She's looking nice. She becomes like that one face you want to see, because you know that her personality is already up there. When it's someone who's a bit boring, it's like, okay, yeah, I could look at the face all day, but it's like, I don't just want to sit there and look at her face all day. do I? It's just
even
like,
looking at a face, do you know when they're like attractive? You look at the face, and then but you know what they're like, and you just see the face, you just get annoyed. Like, do you know what I mean? You just look at the face, you just get annoyed. You're just like, ah, shit.
I've never had that level, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean, but I never had that level. I feel like for me, it's more like I start looking at your face, and it's like I start putting your personality and character with what your face looks like. So I'm trying to imagine, like, if we were hanging out, how would it be? And it's just like, it ends up being like, wow, I'll just be bored. I'll just be sat there, like, thinking of what else to do. Can I, like, check out what's going on my phone? Can I be somewhere else? And it's like, yeah, when you don't have a personality, your looks aren't going to help you cope through. You're not going to be able to fly through on looks alone. You need something. You need something there. You need some filling, You need something to make yourself lifeful. I don't just want a lifeless, I don't want a doll, bro. I'm not here for a doll.
Yeah, but the doll.
That's what I'm saying. It's a doll. It's a doll. Yeah, she looks good. But then you have nothing. I may as well be dating a doll, mate. I may as well be dating Barbie at this point.
Pretty much. Yo,
I may as well be. Where's Barbie at? Yo, give it my DMs. I'm open here, Bobs. What's up, Bobs?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That Barbie ain't thick enough, though. I'm not gonna lie.
The main thing I was coming out with this is that basically when you talk to one person, there's a high possibility, probably 90% chance that it's not going to work out. Number one, you're going to waste your time, a lot of time, because a lot of people try to hold on to something that's not working for way too long. Like, people go on for like years. I've had people 6-year relationships where it's been all bad, and then they're like 6 years later, they're like, oh, you know what, now's the time to call it. You just wasted 6 years of your life to with this person. You knew what it wasn't working.
In a deep relationship, I can understand just being like, that's the one when you're in a deep relationship, but like when you're starting off, obviously, like when you're starting off, it's like chatting. If it's still just in that chatting and you're thinking about something, then I say, yeah, have some other connections just in case. Because the thing is, you're chatting to this one and you're like, okay, starting to plummet yourself into this road which you're not sure you want to go down anyway.
Yeah, especially when people aren't sure about something. When you're not sure, when you're there and you're thinking like, I don't know if this is for me, back out, because you shouldn't be like that. You should, if you like,
put a pause on, put a bit of a break. Don't go full accelerate. Because I think that's the problem. People start having that kind of doubt, and then they're like, no,
but they still
really
go.
Like, but the thing is, that's the only person they're talking to, and at that point, it's too late because that's the only person you're talking to. You're thinking,
and they feel that's the only person they can get.
Yeah, you're driving into it full. I'm always like, nah, just keep your options open until it's set in stone. When you finally put the labels on and you're like, yes, I want to see where this goes, then maybe stick to just one. But before that, I'm like, you know what? Just keep having people. Obviously, you don't have to think, oh, yeah, anything's going to happen. But just the idea of just having them in that kind of, keep talking, keep them backed up, see if there's anything else interesting out there. Because if something else catches your eye, obviously this thing here might not be the one like you thought. But the thing is, if you're obviously just concentrating on that one thing, that one other thing that could have caught your eye before is now off talking to someone else.
But I also imagine, like, how many... Yeah, it's so true. How many, like when you see someone, you're like, oh, yo, she looks kind of sick, and she looks like someone I could, like, get along with, blah, blah, blah. And then you see this, like... so it's off at the beginning. You haven't even started speaking to the person. And then you see this other girl, and you're like, oh, yo, she looks kind of cool. I kind of like her. And then you start talking to this girl, and then she starts talking to you, and then you kind of like, oh, crap. now I'm talking to this girl, like just straight off at the beginning, but by society's standards, you can't then go and start talking to other people. But you start talking to this girl, it starts going on for a little bit, and then like a month later, you're like, ah, shit, it's not working out. And then there's that other girl that you also wanted to like chat to, and then
gone now.
that potential is now gone, and then she could end up with someone else by that time, and then that whole month that you wasted, this girl could have been your wife. You know what I mean? That could have been your life right there. That you know, she could have been amazing. She could have been perfect.
Mama.
Exactly, but you wasted that opportunity by focusing on one girl. Like, imagine if you had spoken to her at the same time. Like, you're not doing it. You're not kissing them. You're not like being
like, you can always come out later and be like, yo, listen. I'll be real with you. If you want to be honest, you don't want to be. I don't think there's a thing. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, but then,
society is a bit of a.
Here's the problem.
It's a bad harness because people end up being like, oh yeah, but it feels unfaithful. It feels wrong. But it's like, no, it's not. Later on, you just tell her.
You're just wanting to talk. You're not doing anything. You're just talking.
I just wanted to get to know this other person while we were still figuring things.
Yeah, so I'm getting to know you at the same time.
Yeah. It ain't a problem. I'm like, go for it. I think that's why this is so hard to like.
Yeah, but it makes sense though. You're thinking like it makes sense to get to know her and to get to know her at the same time, because then you know who actually works better for you. Because if you only get to know one person, you just missed out on that potential, and that could not work out.
If it doesn't work out, then you're back at square one, and you're starting up again. You're starting at the bottom of the mine shaft.
Because like if you get to know her and her, you're getting to know them both at the same time. But here's the problem. If you do that, they'll see it as, oh, how can you talk to me and then talk to another girl? You clearly don't want me. It's like, yeah, I do want to get to know you. I want to, but society's standards now will be like, oh, how can you talk to me and talk to another girl? You're probably just going to cheat on me, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, no, because I'm not with you yet. I'm trying to get to know you and her to see out of you two, even 4 or 6, which girl... Right? Even girls could do the same. Girls could be like talking to one.
Definitely do. The thing is,
girls do. Yeah, they do. They do
the same. They'll be telling me, oh, this one guy here, one guy there, and it's like
I bet girls telling me
like 4 or 5.
They're talking to like 8 guys at the same time.
Yo, mate, women do it. Women do it more than guys, I'd say. Sometimes I feel like sometimes women do. From the stories I've heard anyway.
Yeah.
And from the women I've heard from, it seems like women do it a lot more. Where they'll have like one here, one there,
but
one
they
there, one
find
there.
You see them talking to all these guys. And then eventually, after like a few months, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm with this guy now." And then they found the perfect match, the guy, and they'll have that relationship that will go on for ages, and it'll look like sick. Like they'll be like freaking on key with each other.
But stronger salt and pepper seasoning.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't do that without being judged by everyone. You know what I mean? People will judge you. People will be like, "No, you can't do that. You have to. If you're speaking to one girl, you got to speak to that one girl." So like, yo. People listening, yeah? Comment down below. Do you agree? Like, should society accept people talking to more than one person at the same time? Because it doesn't make sense to talk to one person. It just doesn't. For time-wise, people, you get people doing like freaking suicides and stuff like that after a heartbreak with someone they've been with for however long, where it hasn't been working anyway. The person hasn't even liked them. They might not even like that person that much. But just because of the whole premise of it and like monogamy type thing, they will stay with that person for no reason, even if they don't like them. And it's crazy to me. Do you know those people? Like, did you ever have those friends that would come to you and be like, "Oh yeah, he's just a D-head," or she'll be like, he'll be like, "Oh, she's just a D-head. Like, honestly, man, she's so annoying, all this and that," and they always come to you with a problem, every time.
Times me.
Yeah,
I'm not going to the point where sometimes I used to like. And there was a point where I got to where it's like I used to hear people coming through, and there's just times I'd be sat there like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, please."
Bad girls came to me, man.
Just leave them if they're that bad. Like, you shouldn't be in this relationship.
Yeah. Bad girls would come to me with their same problems, and I'll be like, leave him. Like, literally, I'd be like, I got to the point where I'd just be like, leave him. Like, you deserve better. Why are you settling? You know what I mean? And then they'll hear me, go back, do the same thing, come back to me with the same problem. I'm like, I already told you this. Just leave him. But, it's up to you. If you want to work on it, if you want to do whatever, do it. But I'm telling you now, the way he's acting, it sounds like you could do better. You know what I mean? Like, if he hasn't got your best interest at heart, and it doesn't come naturally to him. He has to like work on it.
Nah,
Then
truly, dude,
why
like,
are you with him?
facts. It's just facts at this point. It's just like, yeah. I
This
don't
is
know
why
what's
it's
wrong.
dumb to talk to one person.
It's a stupid world order. I don't know where one of those. Oh, what did I say on a pod? I saw it somewhere before, and people were saying that it's just the what do you call it? It's this like weird rules of dating that somehow have come into existence. It's not even like a thing that was decided in the world, but it's somehow just like silently taken over what people think, and everyone just now agrees on it, despite it not making sense. Just
Yeah,
like, everyone's
like-
just like, oh yeah, you should just be talking to one person, but it's like, yeah, but they're not really dating. He should talk, or she should talk to whoever they want to.
Yeah, that's when you're talking to like a girl, and then she or he have rules on like, oh no, you're not allowed to talk to other guys. No, you're not allowed to talk to other girls. I'm like, excuse me. Oh, why can I not talk to other girls? Huh? Like even as friends, they're like, oh no, no. Do you know that saying that no guy can be friends with a girl, or no girl can be friends with a guy, or like just
I've
friends?
heard it. I've
My
heard
best
it.
friend is a girl. You know what I mean? But apparently we
one
can't
of
be
my best-
friends.
Like I have like a total of 5 people I consider my best friends, and at least 3 of them are female, and it's just like friends, man. It's just like that's it, full stop, nothing more. And it's just like I don't see what the problem is. Like, yo, if someone had said that, like, oh, you can't be friends with her because she's like, I'm like, yo, I don't want to be your friend. You can jog on.
I don't wanna be your
I don't have time
friend.
for you. I'm sorry, but that's just petty. That like, if you're gonna be like that, jog on. Ain't no time for that. Ain't no time for that. You
Yo,
should
this,
be,
this is a different topic. This is a different topic. We need
Yeah,
to go
this
back
is
to the other one.
Yo, there's too many topics. It dives into too many areas. It dives into too many areas, man. It
There's
ends
a-
up.
What are your
Thank you.
main thoughts and feelings on this topic of like, so should people, do you think, when dating, should they be able to date more than one person? Because I feel like you can't just talk to someone. You have to date them. You have to go on dates. But
I think it depends on how serious. If you're still at that, okay. So for in terms of talking, as long as you're not in
Oh,
anything,
okay.
if you guys are not like set standards, or it's like now we want something serious.
yeah, okay,
If it's
forget the
still-
serious bit. Forget the serious
Okay.
bit. Let's
We're
say
still far away from serious. If we're still at like dating, even going
Yeah.
on dates,
like you're going
You
on
should-
dates, and
do
like
you.
talking to girls and like I don't know, going for food, blah blah blah.
yeah. Now,
How long should people like be able to do that?
I can't set a time limit on that, but I think
'Cause it depends
as
on
long
what
as
you
you're
want.
not like in anything where it's like obviously as I'm saying, as long as you're not determined where you're like you've both agreed
To be
you
girlfriend
both
and
want to
boyfriend.
be yeah, exactly. You don't want to be
Okay.
serious. You go on and do you. You know, like if she wants to go and see other guys, go for it. If you want to go and see other girls, she should be okay with it because it's like at that point you're still obviously getting a feel for each other, seeing how it goes, how the mechanics go. The thing is, if you're only focused on like, let's say you have the potential for 3 or 4 dates, but you're only seeing this one because you're like, okay, this is what I want to invest time in. This is one of the, so she starts telling you to butt everyone else out. If it doesn't end up working with her, you've just lost 3 potentials there.
Yeah,
Where it's like one of them could have been the right one.
one of them could have been your wife. You could have had
If
kids.
but because you've been told otherwise, and you've been, pushed.
Not
into just-
even told. Like just by society standards of you're not really allowed. By society, just not even saying it, but by like the norm,
By the-
you're not
yeah.
allowed to date other people.
I'd say don't let that kind of thing stress you. I feel like people stress too much about that kind of thing where it's like those unspoken rules, and it's like,
Yeah.
nah, don't be listening. Don't be listening. It might be there on the table, but the thing is, it's one of those things that it's not on pen and paper. It's just a thing that people have somehow just decided over time. That's how it should
That-
be,
yeah.
but nobody agreed on it. It's not a thing where it's like it's set in stone. You want to go on a date with someone else. If you're not serious yet with that other person, you go on a date with Amanda. If she comes in wearing her red steel toe boot, she's coming in with a fine ass dress. You go on a date with her. If
Amanda,
Becky
let's
wants
go
you
on
to
a date.
Take her. Dear Bora wants you to come out. Yo,
Damn,
she be
dear
looking
Bora.
thick. Dear Bora be looking thick. You want to take on a date? You go for it. Don't worry about anyone else
Tanisha,
judging.
you want to go on
You
a
go-
date, girl? Let's go.
Don't worry about the eyes. Don't worry about the whispers. Don't worry about people talking. At the end of the day, the process
And as long
ends up
as
taking
you're
you to the right
honest,
place.
as long as
Yeah,
you're
if you're
honest
honest.
about it, saying that, oh yeah, I want to get to know you, but I'm gonna be like going on dates and talking to other
Yeah.
people. But it's like one of those things where you have someone dating someone, and then they're gonna date with another girl, and then you get those like girls' girlfriends or guys, boys, that will be like, will see them out and be like hitting you up like, your girl, your guy is on another date with another girl. I'm like, well, yeah, my guy is trying to get to know like who he works best with, or my girl's trying to get to know which is her best guy moving forwards, who's gonna move along with her on the things that she wants, on things that he wants. You know what I mean? Like, when you think about it, it just makes so much sense to not just date one person, but people like a lot of people will not accept that. You know what I mean? That they'll just like fight that so much because they're like, nah, because I don't want to. I guess I don't know. Maybe people just don't want to be the second option or the second best, or like to fall behind. You know what I mean?
I mean, as long as once you start getting into a commit thing, you're honest about it, and you're like, yeah, I was seeing other people just so I could get a feel, but you know, I ended up choosing you. I'm sure the other person will be alright with it. And on top of that,
No,
if the
whoa.
last like 2 years have taught us anything,
Right off the bat, be like, yeah, I'm dating you, but I'm gonna see other people at the same time, just so I can see my perfect match. you can't date other people, not telling her, and then be like, oh, I was dating other people. And then
I don't even think you even have to tell it. Obviously, tell
Really?
it if you want to, but I don't see the problem. Why should I have to divulge every little secret that happens in the
I
back
think
door?
this is the bit where we're gonna have to disagree now.
Nah, 'cause I'm like, listen. It's like, yeah, if you obviously it's better to tell her, but I don't
Yeah.
think you should, not hiding it. I'm not saying go around and be sneaking around.
Yeah.
No. But I don't think it's like, unless you want to. Obviously, if you want to be fully honest off the bat, go ahead. That's like the perfect thing to do, because at least she knows her beforehand and she can decide whether she's all right
With
you. Obviously, taking your options open,
yeah, but
and then she can open her options too. or
I
he can
guess
open
telling
the
it kind of takes some of your options away because some people are not down for that.
Yeah, some people might not be down with it. I mean, that's
but then
like
at the same time, that's the preference.
honest thing is like, if they don't like that, then obviously they're not. It's like, well, that's up to you then. At least if she doesn't want to or he doesn't want to, then they've missed out. Let them walk off. You can find many more fish in the sea. But I feel like
Exactly.
it doesn't really have to be like a thing where it's like you're obligated. I don't think you're obligated, but obviously it's nicer if you do.
Yeah, I
At
mean, I
least you're
guess it's
honest.
not like an STD, so you don't have to.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like,
divulge
yeah,
that
if you had an STD, I'd be like, oh yeah,
information.
STD, you tell them straight off the bat. But when it comes to the dating thing, it's like, oh, if I'm gonna talk to one girl here and be seeing this girl tonight, and I'll go and see the other one. If I then decided, okay, the other one who I went to see is who I wanted to thingy, maybe then I'll start telling like, okay, I'm thinking about seeing where we're going, but I am still gonna date other people. But I don't think I'd have to tell every single girl and be like, oh, by the way, I'm dating like, 3 other girls, just seeing my options. I don't think that's like, yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like, nah. Especially the other thing I was gonna say was with like the last year and a half, 2 years now, obviously with the whole pandemic thing, we've been in such a time where it's like I feel like all the time is like that's why I've agreed with you so easily, because it feels like time, like it's made you think like time is so precious.
So precious.
We don't have time to be wasting. Where it's like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna sit there talk to a singular person, date a singular person when
This is
who
a
knows
thing. I've
when
been
things can
thinking
turn
about
upside
life. Life is
Yeah.
not that long. We humans have a really short lifespan. Like we die quick.
Oh, yeah,
This is what I was
100
saying.
years.
It's detrimental. Like you could potentially get to the point where you don't have kids because you're just too late to finding that person.
Oh, don't
Like-
get me on the topic of kids. I'm
No,
about
no. We'll save it for another time then. But like,
so annoying.
it's so detrimental that you could potentially miss out on like your life because you chose the wrong person.
Yeah, because you're in that standstill for so long and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I see like people like, oh, you just split up with my thingy of like 6 years, 7 years, and it's like, yo, you're like way old now. You're in like your 28. You've missed all your great, mid thingies, and because you were trying to make it work with one person when you could have known at the beginning whether it was going to or not.
I've seen
You could've-
relationships where they've been dating for like, let's say 6-8 years, and then it's all going downhill, and they're like, everyone's, oh bro, it's not working, just end it. And they're like, oh no bro, but it's been so long, like bro, we've been together for 6 years, we've been together for 8 years, like I can't just end it now, we just gotta work on it. And then it gets to that point that it just does not work. It's been 12 years now, they end up breaking up, and it's like, you could have had something amazing, but you
Yeah.
decided to stay there because of the time you've already put into it. That time's already gone. You've wasted it. This is what I'm saying. Dating one person is so detrimental because once you've wasted it, there's no going back. You just have to start again. If you don't start again and you carry on pushing, that's just more wasted time.
See, I think that the time thing is like a whole different category, because obviously that's like a whole different thing where it's like, I get what you mean as well. I strongly agree with. It's like, you could. At that point, I feel like people are just being. I don't want to say stupid because that feels so mean.
But it is. It is
but I guess that's the
stupid.
best way to explain it, because it's like I really hate it when I hear that, where someone's like, "I've been with them for 4 years," and it's like, yeah, but it's been like maybe the first year worked out. Like you spent 3 years of it not working, but you two being like, "Oh, let's keep trying it out." He's
Yeah,
done
it's
things,
just
she's
not
done
working.
things. Things are not working, and you're clearly both know it's not working. But yeah, people are trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do. Beyond
It's
life
your
rap.
life, man. Why don't people think about this? It's your life going down the drain right now.
You only
Leave
get
that
one, man.
situation. You only get one, and then that's it. That's it. It's
Find
over.
your dear Bora, man. Find you your dear Bora. Don't be wasting time with all these other. Find you your dear Bora. and
I've
stick
been,
with her.
I've been dodging something because I was like, when I get into this, it is gonna complicate things. But like, then when it comes to like dating multiple people, let's say you're dating like 6, 8 girls at the same time, she's dating like 7 other guys.
Because they in large numbers, man.
Yeah, they are. They
How
are.
many
But
of these?
but you want to find that one person.
Yeah,
Let's.
I mean-
So what then happens when you're dating these other people, but then
You
what-
run out of freaking energy because you
No,
no,
no, no, no, no,
many
no, no, no.
dates.
What about then sleeping with these people whilst dating them? But then at the same time, you also need to know how that works between you guys, and if there's a connection there. Because some people, they like people, and then they get to that point and they're like, "This ain't for me."
It's
You
the
know
same
what I
thing I
mean?
said before. It's the same thing I said before. It's one of those
As long as
things
you're
where
honest.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, if it's not in the serious phase yet,
But then
like,
that's a
I'm
lot
one
of
those
people
guys
that
who's
you're.
like, boy, I'll be talking to a girl where I'm like, talking and it's getting thinking. I'm like, okay, but until we're at that level where I'm like, okay, we've both admitted we want something serious. We've both locked it in. It's we both pressed the yes button.
Mm,
Gonna
Yeah.
talk to other girls. Gonna be seeing other girls. Most likely, we'll be sleeping with other girls because it's like, yo, you've got to have. It's like you've got to have that, wide door open and understand what you want before you get into it. I don't want to be wasting my time thinking, okay, I don't want to be second guessing myself through the entire relationship. Or
Yeah.
asking myself, was this the right choice? Do the right thing?
I've
Was
had
the
a
right-
few of those where I'm like, what am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? And then that's when I get a bit more when I used to get a bit more like withdrawn from the relationship and be kind of like,
Yeah.
this ain't the one for me. I'd kind of like just disappear from it. But like, I would say it as is like this just ain't for me. But like, I've learned a lot from growing up. Like,
I think you
you
think
just
about
have
it
to end things.
Yeah.
Like, when
I think
things
you think
isn't
about
working.
it deeper, and you don't do like as foolish. You think about it deeper, and you consider things deeper as you get older. Like obviously, when you're younger, everyone's just about clotting. It's literally just one here, one there, night out, pow, 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 pow. But then after that, it's
Yo,
like,
don't get me talking about my nights out.
that's a whole. Now we'll come back to that. We'll
That's
come
a
back
whole
to that one
different
another-
story, man.
That's a whole different story. But now back then it's all about clotting. Now it's like, when you consider it, it's like, yeah, I might still talk and see 3 to 4 people, and we might still be doing things on the sides as well, and as we go along. But the thing is, now I think about it more rather than it's just being like, okay, it's whoever I see here and there and there. It's now like, okay, these are the potential girls who I like and would like to see what's going through. But none of them are yet, and me have yet agreed to have something serious.
Yeah.
So I will be seeing you. I will be sleeping with her. I'll be sleeping with you. I'm still guessing they will all be sleeping and talking to other guys.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, that's fine because we've not agreed on anything. And if it doesn't work out in like the next month or so after talking, we go our separate ways. We shake hands. It's been nice. Maybe there'll be a late night booty call one day. But until then,
Like
still
you
like-
said, when I was saying, when he's talking to 8 blah 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 girls and she's talking to like 7 guys, you said those were big numbers. Those big numbers will drop to like 2 quickly, like very quickly. Like people are very.
is like a
I'm very
survival game.
particular. Yeah,
it is like a survival game. You start with
It
a
is a
few,
survival
and then
game.
after a while, it's like, okay, her chat isn't interesting, but she's okay here. Then maybe some of them will turn into friends with benefits, and some of them you completely drop. Sometimes even the friends with benefits will go in. After that, you have 2 girls where you're like, okay,
even those
now
people,
still-
none of them could be your match. Like none of them could be like good
Yeah.
for you. That the person that you're looking for, like it will change very quickly. This is what I'm saying. Like talking to one person, it's so dumb because you can have so many people that you're talking to, and none of them work out
feel
unless
like
you find
it-
that one with the first hit. Like
I feel like
sometimes,
it's one of those. It's like either a game of luck or it's just irrational to think
Yeah.
about one person, because the idea ends up being you talk to loads of people to understand and get to see what's out there, and then sift it down. So I think talking to one is like that kind of irrational idea of like, well, you're going to talk to that one person, but if it doesn't work out and you spend 3 months with just you two talking to each other,
Yeah.
other people are out there doing other things, and you might have missed your match who's now settling for someone else
Yeah.
who you now won't meet until you're both 30 because they're going to be in a relationship for 5 years and you're going to be in a relationship or single or whatever for 5 years. And it's like,
And then
nah, man, just keep those options open until it's locked in stone.
there's those people then are used to things not working out, used to rejection. And then they get that one person that finally lets them in. And then they think, oh, you know what? This is the first one for me. I can't let go of this because I don't know what else. I haven't been able to get anything else. So they end up settling into that situation that then turns toxic, doesn't work out for them.
It's just not right. It's just not right for them.
And I'm,
Nah, but too many stories like that, and it's just like, it's kind of sad. And I'm like, yeah, I sympathize.
I get
But
where you're
at the
coming
same
from.
time, it's like, you know, that first step into that long relationship should have been taken in the first place, you know? I think I've had a few friends where it's been like that, where it's like they've been with the wrong person for so long, and they finally meet someone else, and it's like that person is the one. You can just tell with the way they act. Even, with
I
the way
hate
they-
that. I hate that. Do you know? Oh, I've seen so many of my friends do this, where they've been in a relationship with the wrong one, right?
Yeah.
With the wrong one, and then they get going, and then they find like this new person comes, right? That the friends with, everyone's friends with, they're just talking, blah blah blah, and you can see the chemistry. You can see how that person in the relationship is working so much better with this person outside the relationship, and they get on so well that they're like literally
That-
boyfriend and girlfriend well, like everything is perfect. But then they don't get together because my guy or my girl is already in a relationship with this boyfriend that's not treating her right, or this girlfriend that's not treating them right, and it's just, I'm like, bro, just leave this, just put yeet
Or
that,
just-
push that away. This is your perfect girl, guy, right there. Why are you not going for it? You know what I mean? And she will like him, or he will like her. She knows it, he knows it. They both know that they like each other, but they won't do anything. But they're like, oh, well, I'm already in a relationship with this girl. You know, I can't just jump ship, even though it's not working out. Yeah. But then there's people who do jump ship, and it's the best decision they've ever made. Then I see them having babies and getting married and stuff like that. And I'm
Sorry.
like, bro.
You said
No.
the taboo word. I had a little
The
jump there.
taboo. Yeah.
We don't say babies or children in this show. No, this is the work of the devil.
Kids are annoying. I'll give you that. But
Well, no, we'll come back to that.
We'll
We'll
come
come
back
back
to
to
that
the topic
later.
of
We'll
babies
come
and
back to that
children.
yeah.
I have a lot to argue about that one, but no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean deep. I've seen it myself quite a few times. I'm just like, yo, I'm dumbfounded. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? You know, just like leave it out. Have a bit of time to yourself. Go around clotting a few, and then try again to find. Sometimes that's all you need. I feel like people sometimes jump. That's the other thing that annoys me. When people like jump relationship jump. It's like you go from like being in a relationship, have a break, start talking to one person, narrow it just to that one person, and then they'll be like focus on that one person until they're in a relationship with that person again. And she's like, no, just go on the clotting train, you know.
People
With a little
who
bit here,
who
little
leave a
bit there.
relationship and then jumps like straight into another one.
Oh no,
Those
don't do
people,
that to
man,
yourself.
I don't get it. I do not get that. It's like you've just left something that wasn't working to get some freedom, and then you've just jumped into another one straight away. What are you doing? What are
It
you
ain't
doing?
smart. It ain't smart, man. You just enjoy your life. Just enjoy. Sometimes just enjoy being single. You know, just
Yeah.
enjoy finding that one. You know, the process of finding is something else. You know, you can tell all these like stories of, oh, I was like this, like that, like that. You know, you're banting with your son,
Yeah,
and
man.
you're like, oh, go on, my boy, you find
My
your
boy.
one, and you can tell him all your stories of how you were a little, as Keith called him earlier, player.
Listen, man. But
Nah.
players be doing it right. Yo, players
Yo,
are the
they-
ones that get.
Oh, I respect them. That's
The
why I said
happy
shout
ending.
out to my players.
They're the ones that get the
You guys-
happy ending because they
Yeah,
find that
exactly.
girl.
There might have been a player one time,
Or the girl that
but
plays.
eventually they're a father of two with a beautiful wife, enjoying life, smiling
Yeah.
down, playing golf.
Okay, golf.
I don't know. I don't know what old people do. I don't know what married people do. Golf and driving sports cars. I think
Yeah,
midlife
something like that,
crisis shit. Innit?
something like that. Is that midlife crisis driving a sport car?
I mean,
don't
it
know,
depends on
man.
the sport car, you know. If it's like one of those classical, you know,
It's a
you got
Corsa,
your,
bro. It's a Corsa.
it's a Corsa. Nah, you don't drive a Corsa at midlife. You got your nice Porsche Carrera or the Porsche 911.
But yeah, yo, this has been a long chat. I feel like
So yeah, I mean, we went a bit too deep.
yeah. I feel like we're gonna put more in there. But all in all, what are your highlights from this topic that we were talking about today?
I think my highlights were just, you know, how we've just discussed. People just.
And what's your takeaway? What's your takeaway? People in the comments also put in your highlights and
drop us
takeaways from
some
the chat.
feelings about it. But I think for me personally, it's just like what I've taken away from this is just enjoy your life. You know, do your thing. Try to find the one, and just enjoy your clotting years while you can. Because you know, after a while, you're gonna have to just be with that one, and that's like, you know, you gotta make sure that you're gonna enjoy everything about them, the conversation, the time, the sleeping together. Everything's gonna be enjoyable. So enjoy, you know, the mixture of finding that perfect one, because
Yeah.
you don't want to regret it later. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. My
then-
players out there, I'm also gonna give you the third shout out.
My
All my
highlight
players,
from
drop
this.
a little thumbs
Drop
up
a
in
little
the chat.
thumbs up, players. Let's go.
Like-
I think my main takeaway from this, first of all, enjoy life. Life is short. Don't waste your time. Anyway, I'm back.
Okay,
I was saying-
I was like, I thought you'd lost your train of thought and you were like,
no. I just had to source better.
Okay.
My main takeaway, don't waste your life talking to like one person and then deciding to stick to that. Well, if it's working, stick to it, yeah. But if it's not working, get out of that. Yo, find your happiness. If you're not happy in something, you're doing something wrong, right? If something is wrong, you don't have to stick by it. Get out of that. Find your happiness. Life is short. Live your life. Talking to one person is dangerous. You should be talking to multiple people to find out who you best match up. Players are doing it
Hallelujah.
right. Let's go. Take us out. Take it out, Mr.
love
Kuro Bless. Bless Gaming will be in the link in the description to check him out.
check out KDMF 22.
22. It's 20.
22.
KDM up 20.
Change it to 22.
Change it. Heck no.
No, but that's been us at. Are we decided on calling it Kuro Wednesdays podcast?
Yeah, KW
KW
podcast. Let's
The
go.
KW podcast. That's been our first episode, and we've been so happy to have you guys along. And hopefully, we'll have some interesting topics. If you guys remember, if you got any topics you want us to talk about, discuss, put them down in those comments. I see them down. Ooh, it's a bit empty. Put some comments in there, and we'll talk about them in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment, give us many topics. Give us some crazy stuff. And subscribe and peace.
Peace, guys.